Welcome back, y'all. All right, so this video is more of just an update video. I am doing the LS swap series, and behind the scenes, in between the instructional videos and the informational videos, I have been working on the car. So I figured I'll show you guys a little behind the scenes stuff of, me working on the car. As I mentioned in like one of my earlier videos, I'm trying to get this car ready for the Hot Rod Power Tour for me and my 12-year-old son, Ray Jr. to go on. And I actually hadn't bought my ticket yet. I had missed out on getting my ticket in time, but I may have just secured a ticket. I already had my hotels and stuff booked, so I wasn't worried about that. But the tickets for the Power Tour sold out extremely quick. And I actually found a guy who was looking for a gold pass. He got his gold pass, so he's selling me his long hauler. So if all goes well, we should be on the tour. So now the mad dash to get this thing ready is even more, because we got to get it ready for June 8th. It's just coming up on the end of April, so we got 30 days to get this thing road ready. So today the plan is finish up the lines for the transmission cooler, and on this particular build I am going to run it through the radiator. This is a brand new 3-row radiator I got with the fans. It's an all aluminum case. It's really nice. You will have to rewire your fans. When I get my harness, I will show you how to do that, and that'll be in the harness video, which is the next video I plan on releasing on the LS Swap series. So we are running A&N lines in and out of the radiator, into the trans cooler, back into the transmission. We have the lines already at the transmission, so I just have to finish making these lines and loop them and all that. So we're gonna get that done today. I have to reinstall the water pump with the gaskets. I'm gonna get the intake bolted on. I have to get my oil pressure sensor in. We're going to work out plugs, wires, headers, get all that stuff pretty much mounted and ready. So by the time the harness comes in, all I have to do is plug the harness in. We got a little bit of interior stuff to do, and my boy Adrian Rogers came through with the suede visors. Oh, man, that dude does such amazing work, and it just matches the rest of the interior. So as you see, he did the steering wheel, he did my center console, he did the dash, the door panels. I did the suede part at the top. He did the seats with the red and the black stitch. So the visors was something I was missing. So we'll get those in today. I'm still waiting on new carpet. So still got to do that. So we'll get that done. But like I said, today is really just buttoning up under the hood in anticipation of my harness. So probably won't be a whole lot of like how-tos and stuff like that. It'll just be me working, and then I'll update you on what I've done, and if there's anything cool, I'll show you. But again, just putting this video out to kind of give you guys behind the scenes of what I'm doing in between the informational LS swap videos. Oh, and there's another thing I didn't show you guys. You're gonna love this. Yeah, boy, you are not seeing things. We are running QA1 double adjustable coilovers here in the rear. This was kind of just fell in my hands. I didn't plan on going this route, but I made some things happen, and I was able to procure these brand new coilovers. Also had to shorten my drive shaft. I didn't mention that in one of the videos. I will touch on it, but I ended up having to get that drive shaft shortened. I've never had one with a 4L60 where it didn't fit, but had to shorten this one about 1.5 inches. So drive shaft is in, ready to go. And we're almost there. Cross member sitting here. So, but yeah, I just want to show you guys those cool coilovers. So this thing's gonna be right and really nice on the Power Tour. Alrighty, so we got the transmission cooler lines all finished up. So in all my swaps, I've normally just run the bypass the radiator and run it straight to the external cooler. But for the hot rod power tour, we're gonna be sitting in a lot of traffic. There's gonna be a lot of idling and sitting. In the past, I've never had an issue, but I figure I have a brand new radiator. Why not just go ahead and run it that way? So just to give you an idea how this comes from factory, the bottom line, which is going to be this one here, is your hot fluid out the transmission, goes into the radiator, flows upwards, goes through the radiator fins, comes out of the radiator fins, comes around, and this line will go to here because I made this line shorter, so it goes straight out of the radiator into the cooler, goes through the cooler, gets cooled, comes out, goes around, and then the top line goes back into the transmission. So we shouldn't have any issue with idling or overheating of the transmission, especially with these two big fans on there. I'm going to see how these run once I get it running. I may upgrade to the Spall fans, and I do have an aftermarket fan. I'm also going to put a pusher fan on the front of this, and I'll probably just put that on a switch. So in the event it starts to run really hot or we're sitting in traffic, I can activate it manually. So that's done. Happy about that. So now we're going to move on to the intake. I have to put the new throttle cable in, which is just a stock 2002 drive-by cable throttle cable from a Tahoe. I'll show you guys how I modify it to make it work. We'll get that in, get the oil pressure switch in, get the intake bolted down, get the throttle body. I got it over there. I painted it. So we'll get the intake stuff done. Once that's done, we'll probably jump inside, knock out the heater core and the evap core. We'll finish up the accessory drive, and we should be good. Now, one of the most common questions I see asked on the forums and just all over YouTube when we're doing these LS swaps on these B bodies is, what headers do we use? I mean, that's a big part of it. It controls your power, how it's going to sound, how it's going to look under the hood, and there's not a whole lot of choices out there. Now, normally on a 5.3 swap or any kind of LS swap, if I'm using the KDS mounts, I tend to go with just 9802 Camaro SS headers. So those would be F body headers from, I think that's a 5th gen. These love bugs are crazy. From a 5th gen Camaro with the 5.7 LS1. Those headers you can get from Speed Engineering. There's a couple other vendors out there, but the Speed Engineering 1 3/4 ones are the ones I normally run. On this swap, I decided to go with something different. A company reached out to me by the name of PowerGo Motorsports, and I looked on their website, and they had a set of shorty headers, and I figured, you know what, we'll try shorty headers on this. With the long tubes, you have to cut the frame and stuff like that, which is not a huge deal, but I just wanted to keep this really simple and just, you know, when I saw the quality of it and everything like that, I figured I'd try it out. So that's what we're running on this swap. We're running a set of 1 3/4 shorty LS swap headers. They aren't specifically for the B bodies, they're just shorty LS swap headers. I installed them, and man, they fit awesome. So not only do they fit great, they look great. I mean, look at the detail in these welds. Very nice stainless finish to protect against corrosion. And they also come with a V-band clamp. If you've ever had to take apart a flanged exhaust system before it's been sitting for a long time, you know how much of a pain it is to snap those bolts and have studs break and everything like that. So the fact that these come with a V-band for the collector serves two purposes. It makes it really easy for it to disconnect, as well as you can see here, we have an O2 bung. It allows you to clock that in any orientation you want to help with clearance issues for your O2 sensor. So I've already got this side installed, and it looks good. Now, this header kit does come with bolts and gaskets in the package. Very secure, safe packaging. They showed up. They weren't damaged, blemished, anything. It's a 3-inch collector. We're probably going to reduce this down to a 2.5, but I think these are going to look and sound great on this swap. I'll put the link in the description for these headers. Again, these are PowerGo Motorsports. They have some log style manifolds and also some direct fit headers for multiple applications. Check them out. All right, we got some more progress on this thing. Got our headers fully installed with the gaskets. We got these ceramic spark plug wires. They clear pretty good. This is the only one. I mean, if I push it, it doesn't touch, but It's like really, really close. So, I mean, it should be fine because these are ceramic. They're made for heat, but it is touching, but I think it'll be okay. If not, we'll have to put like a zip tie or something on it to keep some tension on it. But this side's fully done. Coil packs are installed. All this is bolted down. We got our PCV tube. I'm going to shorten that. We got our washer bottle. I'm into painting that black. Just got this eBay 99 to 02 truck air filter and housing. So we got this. So today we're going to work on getting our passenger side coil packs in. But before we do that, what I normally do on these is I angle the heater core hoses up to clear that rear coil. But we're putting a new heater core in this thing, so today we're gonna go ahead and get the heater core, put in the new one, put the new evap core in, start putting in the hard lines for the AC. Then we can install our heater hoses, coil packs. We already got the wires and plugs installed on this side, and no clearance issues over here. All these are perfect. They don't touch. No issues on this side at all. We got our dipstick in. I ran this aftermarket dipstick. I'm going to reroute it back over on this side. So just a couple little cleanup things to get ready for our wire harness. We got a Gates belt on there. I'll post the part number of that. The belt that Murphy sent me was too small, so we got a nice Gates heavy duty belt on there. All right, so we got our heater core out. Now we gotta get this evap core out. The bolt's pretty much rusted gone. So we gotta find a solution for that. Get that out, replace the heater core, replace the evap core, and keep pushing on. So, all right, so this side's pretty much wrapped up. We got all the wires in, and as you can see, I angled the hoses, well, the lines for the heater core up, so it clears that rear coil pack. Just take a wrench, be very careful, bend them up, and that'll clear that rear coil pack. We got all the plugs, wires, everything. So in the state that this car is sitting right now, if we had our wire harness, this thing would start. So I got another treat for you guys. Again, this thing's been really getting out of hand in the parts we've been using. Definitely wasn't the plan when we first started. So what you're looking at here is you have BRP tubular crossmember. So I had the extra set of mounts, and I couldn't do anything with them. So I contacted BRP Hot Rods and I said, hey, I told them, I was like, look, I got these extra mounts. Can I send them back and trade them in for a crossmember? And I've done a ton of business with BRP. When I was running my shop, I ordered a ton of kits. So the guy, he remembered me. He's like, yeah, man, send it back. I'll go ahead and send you out a crossmember. So again, you don't need to use this crossmember. Your factory crossmember will work just fine with this setup. I just ran this because I could, and I had it, and why not? I hate the factory crossmember. It's super heavy and bulky and kind of a pain in the ass to get to and to work with. So never been a fan. So any opportunity I get, I do swap it out for the BRP crossmember. But keep in mind, the crossmember is like $300. And if you're trying to do this on a budget, like I said, you can, but do you need it? No. So another big thing that I didn't go over, man, these love bugs. Another big thing that I didn't go over in the initial video were hoses and cooling. Your original heater hoses will work. You will need to modify this side and just cut them short. You'll see once you get them in, you'll just need to cut this side really short in order to fit. Your lower hose from the LT, you will now convert that. That's going to be your upper hose for the LS. It's just pretty much an L shape, and you'll be able to basically just run that from your water pump into the inlet of your radiator. You may have to cut it down, shorten it, or whatever, but it will fit. I've done it hundreds of times. The lower hose is now where it gets tricky. For the LS, it's a Mustang hose. I know it's weird. If you're a Chevy guy, you don't like Ford. It's a whole thing. Don't even get me started on the whole LSs are actually Ford engines debate, but whatever. I think it's a 94 Mustang GT 4.6 lower hose. It's shaped perfectly to use with your F-body or LS3 water pump into a factory B-body radiator. Remember, we have an aftermarket radiator in here, but it's set up for an LT1, so it's going to work just like an LT1. So that Mustang hose is what you're going to need for the lower hose. You're welcome to use those flex hoses and stuff like that. They'll work just fine. But again, I always like my stuff to look factory, like it came, in the car. Of course, for the big, shiny cold air intake. Now, before we get into those hoses, I got to talk a little bit more about the radiator I put in this car. So, funny story. I actually have two of them. So, I actually ordered one from Amazon, and I had it here when I still had the LT. And I had a water pump. I had the new radiator overflow coolant bottle. I had the heater core. I had all that ready to go. And then I decided I was going to do the LS. So I sent back the water pump, everything else I could keep. Fast forward a couple weeks later, the same company I ordered the radiator from reached out to me for a sponsorship. So I was like, you know what? Fine, go ahead and send me one. So they sent me the one with the fans on it, which is already installed in the car. But the original one I ordered is still here in the box. The one I originally ordered does not have the fans on it. I'm going to unbox it and show you guys what it's all about. Look at this beast. So here it is. This is by ASI Performance Pro, previously Alloy Works, I believe. And they shipped this to me to do an install for you guys. But like I mentioned, I already put it in the car. So, you know what we're going to do with this one? I'm going to give this to my buddy Tim. I know he was saying his radiator was leaking a little bit. And, Tim always looks out for me when I need something. He's always been a good friend. So I'm going to hook him up with this. So maybe we'll do the install of it at his house with his car on this radiator. Really good. I mean, this thing's a 3-row. The TIG welding on it, or MIG, I don't know. The welding on it is really, really nice. And it is set up. Looks like it's got the same mounting bolts and patterns as the factory one. You got your oil cooler. You got your transmission cooler. So looks like it should fit stock. So far, it fit great in my car with the aftermarket shroud. So they have two options. You can get this option where it's just the radiator. You can run your factory fans. The only issue I think you may have is because it's a thicker radiator, the mounting brackets on the top, you're probably going to need to modify to work. But other than that, I think it should fit. And when we get to Tim's, we'll go over that. And then maybe we'll be inside away from all these love bugs. They're nuts. Jeez, what the... Just came out of nowhere. All right, so cross members in. Everything pretty much is buttoned up. I'm going to just take off and finish up messing with the AC condenser because these bugs they're killing me. I'm trying to film. They're all in my ear, my face, and everything. So I'm going to wait till it gets a little cooler outside and finish film some more and get some more work done. But that's it for this one. I wanted to give you guys an update, show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of what I've been doing with the car. We're kind of messing with some stuff now. But again, we're getting ready for the Hot Rod Power Tour. This is a mad dash. I'm super excited. If you're going to be on the tour, drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming from. So my plan is I'm going to trailer the car. We still have a house property in just north of Georgia in Cartersville. So the plan is to trailer my truck, drive my truck and trailer with the car on it to Atlanta, and start the drive in the Impala from Atlanta. Now, my reasoning for that is, in the event something happens where the car is no longer drivable, something like that, and I have to leave it somewhere between Illinois and Tulsa, Oklahoma, it'll be 1,000 times easier to get the truck and trailer from Atlanta to go get the car than to get it from South Florida. So that's kind of my reasoning behind it. I would love to drive it the whole way, but because I do have a house there where I can leave my truck and trailer safely in Atlanta, and I believe a lot of the guys that are in the Facebook groups that I talk to, a lot of them are coming up from like Savannah, Atlanta, and everybody has to go up the 75 to the 24 to the 65. I think that's the route to go to Joliet. So that's my plan. So everything we're doing, and that was kind of the plan from the beginning. It was just I didn't have my ticket yet, so it was kind of still up in the air. But now that I actually have the ticket, my son is super excited. I'm super excited. So we got to get this thing running and comfortable. Um, Last thing I'm waiting for is my wire harness and exhaust. So I'll give you guys an idea of the exhaust I'm running. I got two options. I don't want to spend a ton of money at the exhaust shop running the full exhaust on this thing. So Dan Ferrero at Clear Image makes a kit, a catback kit over the axle out the back. I plan on maybe ordering that kit. And I already have the spin tech, so I can do that. If he hasn't got back to me by the time it's time for me to get to that point, Pipes Exhaust makes a kit, and I've installed that kit a few times. And you can actually order that kit again without the mufflers, since I already have the spin techs, and that's going to be a 2.5-inch exhaust kit, which is going to be just fine for my setup. And I'll just have to do a reducer from that collector from a 3-inch to a 2.5, and just connect it to the catback system, and we should be good. So we got hoses, wire harness, exhaust. That's it. And then, I'll shake this thing down, drive back forth to work. And we got tires. I bought some tires. So right now we're running some Nitto NT555s on here, but they are not in very good shape. A lot of tread, but they're old. I think these are from 2013. Yeah, I think on one of the DOTs it was from 2013. So I don't think that's gonna do for 3,000 miles. So I got a brand new set of Nittos. They should be here today. I had them shipped to work so I can mount them at work. But I still got a few things to finish up on the interior. Look at these things. Look. Still got to do this. I might work on that now since I'll be inside. But yeah, guys, like I said, that's it for this one. We're getting this thing ready for Power Tour. Like I said, the next video I'll drop will be more on the LS Swap series. Again, this video is just kind of a behind the scenes, what I'm doing, all the in-between stuff, all the parts that I'm putting on my car that you don't necessarily need for your swap, like the coilovers, the cross member, the radiator, and stuff like that. That's stuff that I'm putting, but you don't necessarily have to. I mean, you can take my advice and put it on there. They work fine, as you can tell, but if you're doing it on a budget, you don't need to. See y'all in the next one.